Hi, this is Corey from Blind to Billionaire. I'm back with a video for you all, and this topic of this video is how can blind people flirt and how do blind people find a partner? So in Matt and I's situation, I'm going to tell you some different things that I thought worked really well that he did that like blind and sighted people both can do. But so I think typically when you think about like flirting, you think about like, looking at somebody across the room and like you make eye contact and you like give a little wave or you like smile or whatever. It seems like there's a lot of body language involved. And so I know a lot of people who are blind and low vision have contacted Matt and asked him like, what do I do? Like, how do I flirt? Things like that. And so I have kind of a few different things that Matt did when we met that I thought worked really well. I mean, obviously they worked pretty well because we're together. So I have a few different things that I think Matt did at the beginning of our relationship specifically that really like lured me in and made me think like, hey, this is a great guy. So regardless of if he can see or not, it's, he's pretty cool. So the first thing he did, we met online, and so our initial communication was written communication. So that was something that whether you're blind or sighted, if you have adaptive technology, you can use a computer and type. So things that Matt did, of course, like people always say like, oh, have good communication. Well, what does that even mean? So Matt and I had a lot of things in common, which was helpful, but Matt led off by asking me like pretty specific and interesting questions, like where do I specifically like to travel, things like that. And he also is a good writer, and whether you're a good writer or not, I think things that make you sound interesting when you're writing are to tell interesting stories about yourself. So maybe like a specific thing, that, something that you're interested in, but also Matt, one of his like best qualities is asking questions to other people. So Matt asked me like, where do I like to travel? He flirted with me that way because he was like, we were teasing about, he was like, well, what kind of ring should I buy you when we get engaged someday? I was like, okay, Matt, we've talked twice, this is like our second email. But the thing is that's how you can flirt. You can say flirty things and you can say things that are genuine. And so I think that's something that just to initially kind of get somebody interested in you, you can ask them questions about things they're interested in, and you can share your own dreams and your own hopes and your own goals. And if it's the right person, then they'll want to meet you and talk to you more because your goals and your dreams and your hopes will line up somewhat. So I think that's a big thing. I think also something that, and this is something blind and sighted people can both do, but I think in a blind, like this is what Matt did that I thought was really helpful, probably for him, but I liked it, is he came up with our first date idea. So he had us go to a beach like / park kind of where near his house. So it was a place that he was familiar with. It was a place that he had been before. He knew exactly how to get there from his house. He knew exactly like how many steps were from the parking lot to the walking path, and he could kind of guide me that way. So I thought that was kind of nice because I was impressed because he had planned a date, but for him, he had picked a place that was comfortable for him, that he was really familiar with. So he was more confident and he was more comfortable and he could be more himself. So I think for somebody who's blind or low vision, when you're figuring out like, what am I gonna do on this date? If you plan the date, not only do you look interested and responsible and fun, but you also have more control. The other thing you can do, you probably got hands that work, right? So Matt was like, kind of like, we held hands, and when he found out that I was kind of comfortable, you can kind of, like he like played with my hair a little bit. I mean, maybe not like the first date, but like, once you kind of have a date or two or whatever, you can do things that are like super, genuinely like not, too intimate unless you guys decide on that. But you can do things that are flirty. You can hold somebody's hand, you can touch somebody's back, you can, just things like that. You can use your like those types of nonverbals. So maybe you guys can't like look at each other in the eyes, but there's ways that you can let somebody know that they like you in that way. So those are just a few tips that kind of come into my mind. Matt is actually behind the camera today and that's not like typically how we do this, but Matt, do you have anything you want to add about that? I'm kind of putting him on the spot.
Right. I'm trying to hold very still.
It's hard to be the videographer.
It is. My shoulders are getting tired.
I know, my arms would get so tired I'd have to lean on stuff.
No, I think that was very well said.
I just think that all of those things make you seem really put together, interesting, and allow you to be yourself. But when you're blind and you don't have as much control over situations, I think those are things you can do to flirt and make yourself interesting, and kind of get the girl or get the guy. That would be my advice. So I would love to hear what you guys have done or different tips you have. Maybe if you're married and you guys have been married a while, like, you know, what do you do to keep the love alive? Or kind of things that work for you. But I think that that's just kind of my thoughts. So, you know, good communication. Matt always used to like write me notes and stuff too. I mean, he still does, but you can do that too. You can make little secret surprise notes. You can plan dates, especially because that way you have more control and you can be comfortable in the situation. So I think doing those kinds of things really kind of shows that you're taking initiative. And how do you meet people when you're blind? You know, I know it's really hard when you're blind. It's harder than when you're sighted, but I think it's hard for both sometimes too. So I think Matt found a lot of success with dating online. For him, that was his comfort level. There's different types of online dating you can do too. So if you're, you know, there's like Christian Mingle if that's like your thing, or there's paying sites if you're more comfortable. There's tons and tons of free sites. I'm thinking like there's a blind Facebook group called, I think it's Love and Friendship Connections for Blind Singles, something like that, something about being single and blind. There's like that Facebook group. So, you know, I think those are some ideas that I have. Those are things that worked for Matt. I hope you guys find this video somewhat valuable, and I really appreciate you guys being here. So if you have questions for me, please let me know. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and click in the bottom right hand corner of the video. We would love to hear from you. So thank you guys for being here. Have a great night.